Hello and welcome. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I know I was away for such a long time, but I'd like to make a video today about the books that changed my life, or the books I read and I learned from them. As you know, I love to read. I'm a reader. I have loads of books. I think books are great because you get to immerse into the book. If you read a book, most likely you really have to give your whole attention to the book. You cannot do anything else. Not like when you're listening to an audio book or a video, you are more welcome to do anything else. But when you are reading a book, most likely you have to give your full attention to the book. Also, I found that it helps me to grow or strengthen my imagination, because you have the words, and if it's well written, then it's easy for you to imagine the scenery, the scene they are describing in a book. So let's start with these books. The books that I read, not all of them, but most of them, that I read during my spiritual journey up to this point, I would say. Now, some books I found really useful, and some books I haven't. Some I didn't even understand. So let's just start. Sorry, I have to reorganize this because I already made a video about this. So, okie dokie. Kind of like this. So the first one I would like to mention, funny enough, is Think and Grow Rich, the original classics by Napoleon Hill. Looks like this. And I haven't even finished this book. It's almost 400 pages, and I must admit it got me lost. I read it, and I didn't really understand it, and I still don't. So I gave up on it, really. Contents are like desire, faith, imagination, power of the master, the subconscious mind, the brain, the Sixth Sense, biography of Napoleon Hill. So yeah, I don't know. It didn't give me much. So, but you see, I kind of persevered almost till the end. So, you know, it's up to you if you want to read this book or not. The second book, I bought those two books together. So I bought this book, I think, those two books 8 years ago. This one is the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. This is a philosophical book, timeless philosophy on personal success. Yes, I read it, I must admit. I finished it, and I didn't understand it. I don't understand this book still. Contents are like Tao without origin, avoiding desire, loading shame, returning to the source, simplicity of habit, not forcing things. So you see, the contents are quite great, really. Very interesting. Avoiding activity. So, you know, when you look at it like this, and this goes on and on, it seems really good, but I unfortunately, I didn't understand it. But I think if you are really philosophical minded, you might get something out of it. So it's Lao Tzu, the Asian classic, Tao Te Ching, you know. The next book is, there are two books, actually three. Three books. These books. I came across this book when I was around 18. I saw them in a shop window, and these two books are intrigued me very much. And one of them was El Camino, the Road. It's written by a Hungarian person. So it's about a pilgrimage, the El Camino, and the writer talks about his experiences during this journey. So I was really looking forward to this book, and again, I didn't understand it. I don't understand this book, so it really didn't give much for me or to me. The funny thing is that no matter where you are, you can do a pilgrimage, so you don't really have to go and do the El Camino. You can do it in probably every country. There is a pilgrimage you could do. So yeah, this book didn't really give much to me. Funny though that I only came to read it like, I don't know, 8 years ago or something, so I waited quite a bit of a time. The other book I seen together with the first one was I think in English is The Red Lion by Mària Szepes. So this book is, it's an esoteric book. It's about the Philosopher's Stone and the elixir of life. It follows a person who kind of found the elixir of life and lived 400 years without dying. So he remembered all his deaths, but he didn't really lose his memory. He kind of remembered how it was like in an astral plane, and then he kind of came back. So, and then he kind of knew how he's gonna die too. So this is more just like a story, but a really interesting esoteric story. I would suggest to read this or listen to this, because this is also a nice thick book. It's like, how many pages? Over 400 pages. But and the writer says that when she started to write this book, she was really interested in the life of the alchemist, and she was surprised at how many people misinterpret their work, and how people in power use them. So, and that how many people kind of got the misinformation that it's all about money and wealth, and not about that you can kind of change your life, change your mental state, because this is mental alchemy. So yeah, so this book I definitely recommend to read. So I will need to put this here. And then there's another book. These books are going together by Tolvaj Ferenc. This is The Soul in Tibet. So this is the first book. This is the second book, like this. So the first one is El Camino, the Road, and then The Soul in Tibet. Well, so this book again, it seems to be really interesting, and it didn't give me anything again. And I think the reason why, no reason why. So basically, these books are stories. These are stories. They don't really hold like real information. They just gave you an idea. It's a story. The next books are also stories, but they gave me huge pleasure regardless. The first one, obviously, the first one is this Red Lion by Mària Szepes, and then I have to talk about Paulo Coelho and the Alchimist. This is everything you need to know about spirituality and how to find your way in life. It's in this book. no matter how many times I read it, I always find something new in it, although I kind of know it by heart by now. Every time I open it up, I just love it. There is always a sentence or something which catches my eye and my attention, and then every time I read it, there is a new meaning to it. So I really recommend this book. It's again a story, but it's a really nice stepping stone. It's a good way to start your journey. There are two other books by Paulo Coelho I have, because I used to have more, but I gave them to the library. The other one is, I think the English would be something like By the River Piedra I Sat and Wept, or something like this. It's an interesting story about how we kind of give up on ideas and people. So Paulo Coelho's, at this point, Paulo Coelho's books are always about either one sort of feeling, or like a topic, let's say like love, or this is something like basically how to deal with so this is about how one of the people are fed up with the everyday life, basically, and then they go and they look for something else. So it's always the main story of Paulo Coelho's books is always about that you are kind of fed up, and then you go out and you search for something, or you are fed up and you do something for that reason. So The Alchemist is the whole journey, basically. Everything is in there. This just takes out one segment of like two people. They used to know each other. I think one, I can't really remember now. One used to love the other, and then they met later on, and how they kind of they're not gonna be in love again, but how they find the way back towards each other in sense of communication. And then that one I really like. It is Brida. What a great cover in it. Brida, I love this book. So it's about a girl who again also feels fed up, and she will end up with two teachers. One is a lady and one is a male. And the lady teaches her the way of the night, kind of the moon, and the man teaches her the way of the sun. So the lady teaches her how to read tarot, how to use ointments and stuff like this, mostly about the cards and like sexual energy and stuff like this. And the man teaches her how to be in nature and how to learn from nature. It's really interesting. I found this book really interesting. And then if you open up, you can see here the books so far. So obviously the Zahir I haven't read. The Alchemist I read. Like the Flowing Rivers, I haven't read that one. The Pilgrimage I haven't read. 11 Minutes, that's also a really good book by Paulo Coelho. It's about basically sex. So everything builds onto sex. It's really good book. The Valkyries, I think I read that one, but I didn't understand that one. Victoria Decides to Die, that's also a really good book. It's basically a girl called Victoria who wants to kill herself, and writes a suicide letter and explains, but gives like a really silly explanation. And she basically just disillusioned with her life. She feels that she has no purpose, and she ends up in a mental hospital where she met a guy, and that guy also is there for I don't know now why. He is also not crazy, and then basically their relationship, and then it kind of explains that why all these people feel like really secure and kind of happy in this mental institute, and how they cannot deal with the outside world, and it kind of turns out that the inside is the norm and the outside is the crazy world. So it's kind of interesting. The Devil and Miss Prim. Now that book is basically about if you are to basically sacrifice one person for the good of a community or the others. That would be my intake on it. The Fifth Mountain, I read it. I don't understand that book whatsoever. I think I read it in English and in Hungarian. I still don't understand it. I just don't know what's that all about. Manual of the Warrior of Light. I don't remember if I read it or not. Here is the River Piedra. I sat down and I wept. Yeah, that's a good book. And then the other book I really loved is The Witch of Portobello. I don't have it anymore. I gave it to the library, as I said. That is also kind of similar like this Brida. It's about a lady who is about to find her way, and she starts like this. She starts to do like these sessions. And why is it really interesting? Because she also does some weird practices. Let's say she dances to music without proper rhythm and stuff, so that she's getting used to the rhythm of the world around her or something. A very interesting book. I found that quite entertaining. If nothing else, these books are good to give you like a different point of view, an idea. It's kind of easy to digest also. You take out as much or as little as you want from them, depending on your mental state, you know. But at the end of the day, these are all like books for entertainment. Yeah, so, you know, I would say. But as we know, we can learn from anything. You can even learn from a comedy if you wanted to. The other book I wanted to, well, there are many books. I just tried to kind of organize them. Okay, let's do this one. There are 3 books. I read The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It looks like this. And I really enjoyed this book. It is very well written. It's quite simple, but the meaning behind it, it's quite strong, I would say. And when I read it, I thought, oh my God, these are like my exact thoughts and words, just really well put in a book. And it says something like this: dream of the planet, domestication and the dream of the planet. So that means, it doesn't mean that this is all like a beautiful dream. It means that we are being domesticated, basically. You know, you can do this, you can't do this. And the dream of the planet is that we are all dreaming away. We are not awake. It's like a dream. You are kind of passive in it. And then the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. So that was the first time I seen this written down like this, and I realized that, wow, this is so powerful, in a sense that really we use so many words in so many ways, and we can kind of talk forever without saying anything, and not being able to use the right word at the right time. And to be impeccable with your word, it's really important to say to find the word which kind of describes what you feel the most, if you can. The second agreement: don't take anything personally. I do agree with that. Don't make assumptions. Really good. And always do your best. So basically, kind of, you know, simple topics, but so well written that time when I read it, I thought, oh my God, everything which kind of goes into my mind, I cannot really put it properly into words. Well, here it is, you know, it's really good. And then it says the Toltec path of freedom, or to freedom, breaking old agreements. So yeah, I think this book is well worth to read. So I would put it into that pile, and it goes together or comes together with two other books I bought that time. The Four Agreement companion book. So this just goes with this one, although I never read this one, so I can't talk about this, so I have to put it to the pile I don't really recommend. And the other one is the 5 Levels of Attachment. So this is a good book also. The 5 Levels of Attachment. So what we are attached to, you know, the same writer, Don Miguel Ruiz, not Ruin, Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. So yeah. And it goes like, oppa. Knowledge and attachments, the 5 levels of attachment, the authentic self, preference, identity, internalization, fanaticism, and the biggest demon. You know, maybe it doesn't say much, but you can kind of think of it like we are attached. We are attached to how we are being presented, what the world thinks about us. We are attached to our views or points, or you know, or worldview and stuff like this. So I think, you know, it's good to kind of read about these things, because this is part of our domestication, or I would say this is the part, this is the way they kind of trained us, because we kind of, you know, we get the same information. Most of the people get the same information from the same sources, but now is really the time that you can really choose and pick and cross-examine, you know, information. So now it's really, now is the time that everything really opens up to debate. But people are, you know, so single-minded in the sense that, you know, because we've been kind of brought up in the same way, so everybody is pretty much almost always tends to be the same. So yeah, I think this is a good book to kind of think about things, or start to think about things. The other book I would like to mention is, let's see, the other book is, I definitely have to mention this book. This kind of goes together, I would say. So, affirmations. If we talk about affirmations, we have to mention definitely Louise L Hay. I think she is, or done, a great job. I have a book and a CD. It's called I Can Do It. And I used to, well, I read it, and then I used to listen to the CD while I was driving my car, going to work. Probably I listened to it for a year at least, if not more. You know, every time when I felt like in the morning, I put it on, and you know, this is what I listened. That was a time when I was really heavily practicing my affirmations too, with my book. We gave this book away to a few people, and they always said that it was really beneficial for them for the time being. Obviously, if you don't practice, then obviously, then you know, you're gonna fall back. Basically, you're not gonna develop, or you're just gonna fall back. So it is important to practice it. Or I would say it's almost like tying your shoe, you know. You have to practice it first, then it's just your second nature. So basically, probably till it really goes deeply into you, you have to practice it, but it's good always to kind of refresh these things. So going to that, I have a book like this. This is a notebook. It's really fancy. I love fancy notebooks like that. And this is where I used to write my affirmations. And I'm gonna read you like the first one. So this is scribble, because I'm scribbling all the time. This is the first page, and it says, for your mind to take something in and to go into your subconscious, you have to hear it 300-400 times. 300-400 times you have to read an affirmation till you probably gonna take it in. So, you know, when I started with this, I think I done the first one, the first set of affirmation for a year and a half or something. long time. So, you know, definitely not only like for a month or something, for at least a year, if not year and a half. So how did I start the day? Every morning, 21 yoga breathing before breakfast. And then I do like an emotional ladder to see where I'm at when I woke up. So let's say I woke up. Am I happy? Am I sad? Disappointed? Can't be bothered? And then I done clever questions. Clever questions means that instead of asking, why am I so unhappy? Why am I so fat? I gave my brain clever questions. Why? Because your brain is just like my brain, likes to think about things all the time. So if you give it something productive to think of, which you can benefit from later on, why don't you do that? So instead of why am I so unhappy, I would ask, why am I so happy? Why am I so fulfilled? Why am I so full of energy? And then your brain, you know, starts to think, why? And it's gonna come up with an idea, why? And then, you know, so basically, it's like, why am I so rich? Whatever, you know. I never asked that actually. I always ask, why am I so prosperous? Why am I so happy? Why can I do whatever I want? I would always kind of say it like that. And then your brain gonna come up with an idea how you can do whatever you wanna do. And then it says the violet flame. So I would say the violet flame for 21 times. And the morning mudra, hand mudra. So basically hand mudras are really powerful. And this is not my doing. I learned this from Chilla Kashay. And it really did change my life, this kind of practice. So hand mudras are really powerful also. And then it says 10 or 5 times your mind, programming your mind by reading out your program loud and with feeling. So you really mean it by, you know, you have to mean it. And then, you know, it's my program. It's in Hungarian, so I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to translate it. So yeah, this was the start. And the last one I done. Oh, these are like some mudras I can show you. It's like I even like, you know, these are mudras. So you can just look up like hand mudras. Ego mudra. That's really funny. You know, the ego mudra here. Because now I have some problem with, I have a, well, not anymore, but I had a trapped nerve and it's still not perfect. So I can't really, you know, I cannot really do precision work. Like what I mean is I can't really paint or anything. And my hand is still tingly, my fingers sometimes. So, you know, I would massage it. And then it says that this is basically this is basically a mudra for happiness. It's really funny. So yeah, basically, you know, it's good to have a look at that. Then I have Grabovoi numbers in it also. Grabovoi, that's really good. Then what else? So my affirmations have changed, you know, during the years. And the last one I wanna show you is, this book is not full, so I still have that much to use. The last time I wrote with a date was in 2007, and it was kind of a thank you for the universe. I thank that I'm healthy. I thank that my family and friends are healthy. I'm thank that my relationships are healthy and that I'm happy. And then I put something like this down for myself, that learn to live in the now with joy. There is no bad and there is no good way or road, just your road. And there is no need to give examples to anyone. Everybody learns only what they've been through. And then I put like something, I live in a now, and I have loads of time, and I really live my days. And then I put something that I'm grateful that I have loads of friends who we can communicate really well, so we are really on the same page and we understand each other. And then I put down something, follow what makes you happy. And then I put down what I want to do more, like something like I want to do something for environment. And then the meaning of life, not to be afraid of death, to accept change, to learn to see the beauty of life, the beauty of Earth, Mother Earth, and that your life or the life you cannot really go through life that you don't do anything really meaningful for yourself. And then you have to find this. So basically I just put down stuff like this for myself. And then I put down something, this is like a mantra for me. It used to be when I felt that I'm really pressurized because of time, I put down something like, life is long and I have always time for everything, and there is nature everywhere. That was like really important for me. Okay, so basically this is just goes to Louise L Hay, so this goes here, this goes here. And then if we talk about personal diaries, I have this one, I have more than one. This is when I started to do this meditation and stuff, I would write down my meditations. So the first one would be crystals, 2018, August. And then I would, write down what happened, or what did I see, what did I feel, and stuff like this. So, I would just, just make, I usually just make loads of notes. As you can see, I really like books and I like to write and stuff. So not as such, I don't want to write like a book or anything, just I like to record, I think. When you record well, it's easier to kind of suss out the info later to make it like, a proper video. And then this one, you've seen this one before. This is where this is also a really pretty one. I love pretty notebooks. It makes me think that whatever is inside is really important, or it's really is important for me. So this is where I write my ideas for the videos. Well, plenty of pages really. It's like not much left, not much being used. And then affirmation, Louise L Hay, really good to start with before you start to write your affirmations maybe. And then it comes with Jose Silva Mind Control, and also Dr. Joseph Murphy. I have two books from Dr. Joseph Murphy. One is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I find it really good. And the other one is How to Use Your Subconscious for Health and Vitality. So these two books I read, and I definitely used it, but it's very much, if you take out the spiritual stuff from it, it's very much like the Jose Silva Mind Control book. It goes like the marvels of your subconscious, necessity of a working basis, different reactions to the same suggestion. It kind of helps you understand these things. If you haven't experienced it, or you cannot really put it into words, it kind of helps sometimes, to read about it. I think I even underlined some stuff here. It says, psychologists and psychiatrists point out that when thoughts are conveyed to your subconscious mind, impressions are made in the brain cells. As soon as your subconscious any idea, it proceeds to put it into effect immediately. So yeah, so you know, I just use this book also, but for me the most important is the mind control book. But these two books I recommend for reading for you. I'm gonna put it like this. I don't want this pie to fall down. And then the next book, which should be, okay, so let's do this book and this book. But no, I can't do these books because these books go with that. So that shouldn't even be here. Okay, so let's just go like this. I have some other books. So back in the day, I was already really into crystals. So at home, we always had some crystals. You know, you would always buy some crystals, I don't know, just for jewelry or something. We had like eggs and like this crystal, how do you call it, like clusters and stuff. So naturally, I don't know, one day, that was when when I moved to here, I bought this crystal Bible. I think there's supposed to be another part, but I couldn't find it now. Anyway, Crystal Bible Volume 1. You see, there are some markings. So at the beginning, the way I used it is like I looked what's wrong with us, and then I chose the crystal from the book, and they do work. They really do work. We had some problems with backaches and stuff, so I would find the proper crystal for it, and then we would like put a bandage around the back with the crystals, and it would ease the pain. So yeah, I really love crystals. But now how I use, actually I don't even use this book anymore because I just look it up online. There are like two sites I really like to go for. So let's say I go and I see a really nice crystal, and I'm like, oh, I really like that one, like for some reason, and then I would just then I would look it up, and then usually it indicates that I would need that one. So this is, I remember indistinctively that this is how I picked out like whole light, that white. It's like this one. This is whole light crystal, and I have like a necklace also. We were in Malta, and I was like, oh, this is so nice and everything, and for some reason I wanted like a white one, but not like a clear one, because I had clear ones already, and it was like really like a calming crystal and everything, and I was like, yeah, really, I can relate to that. And then I have another crystal handbook I was given by my workmate when I left my workplace. And yeah, so I think this it's good to kind of have those books. If you are not working with crystals day by day, you might forget some techniques like how to clear them or something. I don't know. I usually put them out to the sunlight. I really like. It's so funny because I have like a bunch of them in one place, and sometimes I can, like, when I think of them, I feel that, oh, they really want to come out, so I really need to take them out, to air them out, to put them in the sun. So I have a really good friend, Judy. She makes these jewelries and stuff, and we always laugh because we say that, oh, we took the kids out with us, so basically it means that we have a couple of crystals in our pocket or something. Yeah. So yes, if you wanna kind of learn about crystals, not the technique, but like knowledge, you can always just get a book for yourself. I always prefer, for some reason, books over the internet. I don't know, I like to have something which stays with me. I don't know. So yeah, but also don't just because the book says that this crystal is good for that, you have to kind of try it for yourself. It's like with everything, it's try and error. These books are not 100% perfect or accurate, because these are working with something so not unknown but so changeable as a crystal. I don't think the crystal's nature is changing, but definitely it definitely changes depending who is working with it. What I mean by that is like probably I'm gonna get different effect when I hold, let's say, any given moment any crystal than you do, because we are different. So you know, it works with us differently. And then I have another book. I have more of this, to be honest. The same thing is Wicca Bible. Wicca Bible. I really like this book because it works with nature, and it kind of puts a really high emphasis on working with the nature and seasons, and and because I really love nature, I don't know why my mom loves nature. I love nature. I love being in a garden. That's my biggest pain, that I don't have a garden. But hey ho. But that's why you see, that's why I made this kind of mantra for myself, that nature is everywhere. You are always in nature as long as you are kind of outside, you know. And then you have your own nature. So you know. Anyway, so yeah. So I read this book and I find it really, it's like almost like a wise women way, you know. In the old times, old was women who know how to work with herbs and plants and stuff. So I learned a lot from it, but most of all, it really gave, because there are lots of goddesses and I don't really care about that, but it really resonated with me when it talked about the elements, how to work with elements, and how to follow the seasons and the changing of the season, and then how you change with the seasons, you know, to respect that, because that's like something normal, and we should be all aware of it, that we are not separated from nature. So that would be, you know, my point really. The gods, I really don't care that much. Okay. Then the next book is, let's talk about this one. So, as I said, you know, Paulo Coelho, it's really good if you wanna get like a good story, kind of makes you think, you can look into stuff. It doesn't really give you like an information, because that is a book for pleasure, basically, to read. And then obviously I was talking about this Don Miguel Ruiz and Louise L Hay, and also Joseph Murphy. I don't even know. Yeah, Joseph Murphy. But if you really want like some sort of teaching book, I would go with Franz Bardon and Way of the... Oh, I don't know what would be the English title of this. I promise I'm gonna put it into the description. Anyway, I'm gonna show you. So this book, basically, it's really interesting, because it kind of says something that I'll show you again, because probably you haven't seen it properly. So it says that the people who really kind of want to work with themselves in a way that they want to get better, then, you know, and they want to get perfect, which is like now I find it really ridiculous to read this, you know, to want to get perfect, like that is ridiculous if you think about it, because we're never going to get perfect. Then, you know, these people, or let's say, I think it would have been better if they put like, if you want to purify yourself, you know, or kind of evolve or something, that to get perfect, nobody's perfect here, you know. Or we can flip it and say that everybody is perfect here, you know. Anyhow, the topics are and the exercises are really good. And I tell you why. It's like the working with fire, working with water, with earth, with air, with light, the Akash, the astral plane, the soul, and then there is something like astral level, the spirit, mental level, truth, religion, God, and then how can you kind of control your mind, how can you develop your mind, and then you can develop your body, physical, basically say flesh, blood, body, the mystery of breathing, eating food, and taking its, you know, natural nutritions by really focusing on it and stuff like this. So I think it is really interesting. I must admit, you see, I haven't finished, so I only done like this much. So yeah, but there are a lot of things which kind of similar than Jose Silva Mind Control. And also, you know, there is this book, I haven't put it here. Why haven't I put it here? I cannot even see it now. You know, the yoga book I read once. Where is it? I don't know. It's called Sport and Yoga. That's like a really good book. So basically, everything is here, but if you read it, maybe there are like some topics you really want to dive into, and you really want to start from there, your journey. Yeah. Anyhow, so, you know, it really got me hung up now that, you know, you wanna be like perfect, because now I'm reading another book. It's by Pantheon of Athenaeum, Wisdom of Thought. That book kind of talks about how everybody who born into this earth are perfect as they are. So basically, whatever is your mission in this earth, it was given to you in an astral plane. So you grow, or you born with it. You were born with it, and you don't really have to develop anything. It's a given. Everything is a given to you, and your body was given by Mother Earth. So it's perfect for you for this journey here. So it's funny to see that these are like absolutely two. The idea behind it is absolutely different. It's good because it kind of teaches you, it makes you practice things. You know, if nothing else, basically that you are practicing discipline by practicing something. It might not be fruitful at all, but it kind of goes in a way. It kind of makes you separate from others. Now I realize, like, you know, it's been quite a few years I bought this book. So it separates you. It kind of suggests that we have to be better than others or whatnot. Why do you want to be perfect? Why do you want to be able to see aura or whatever, you know? That's not the point. The point is to find your skill, your gift. Everybody has a gift. Even the dirtiest homeless, unfortunately, has a gift. You know, and this book builds on unity, and this book builds on separation, that you are better than others. But anyway, to read, I both recommend. I don't really want to talk about this book. I haven't read a book for quite some time. The last book I read was I'm reading this now. It's like everything, like every page is like one teaching of thought. And I really love it because it says, they are talking about source, they're talking about sun and many things. And they say that the source which creates everything, they don't even know. They also don't know where is it coming from. And I love that. I love that they don't try to bullshit me with something, you know, that, oh, it's being created, or it was created by someone they don't know. So probably it's like the same everywhere, in every realm, that there are things we just don't know because maybe we are just too small to know. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But it teaches about that. It teaches about Earth and about our body. And most importantly, it teaches that before you were born, you had your mission, your mission, and you got everything prepared for your mission. That's another thing that you forgot about it. And maybe you know, you don't have to know how to see aura or how to do light language or how to do Reiki or everything. It's not everybody's job to do that, but your job or your gift is just as important. Maybe your gift is to make people laugh. So every time you go into a room, people are happy to see you, and that's your job, you know. And very interestingly, they say, so these are not my thoughts, these are in this book. They say that your gift is probably the one. So once you realize what's your gift, you realize that probably you already been using it. So it's really funny. So yeah, so I've been practicing this now. Anyway, and what I'm practicing, not because it wasn't clear, not to find my gift, although probably we all have many gifts. So, you know, and there is an indication also what you like to do, what you don't like to do. Once you can separate it from your ego, that I want to do this because maybe it's gonna make me lots of money, or because I want to be famous or something. It's nothing to do with that. And my thing was always freedom. I was always searching for freedom, and thought, who said that never was in Earth, so never lived here. It was always just like an energy, so he was always here as energy. Basically, he never written they say, you know, the smaragd tablets. It hasn't been written by him. And anyhow, that's not the point. It says that he wants to, or he, so thought wants to teach people here on Earth freedom, because we are so tied down by others, and conditioned. Well, kind of, we know this, you know, by your own thoughts, by others, by society, and by the whole structure. So basically, sooner or later, you realize this, you know, and then maybe you fall into despair, or I don't know, you think what can you do about it, you know, you kind of thinking about that. And then it says that you don't have to do anything. It's almost like, you know, that is my interpretation now. I kind of understand it. I just have to practice it. It's like Matrix. Do you remember in the Matrix when Neo kind of stopped the bullshit, in a sense that he didn't want it to, you know, bend down so that the bullets were missing him. Basically, he just stopped the bullets. So basically, he took himself out of this picture. So once I realize now, and sometimes I get glimpses of it, that me as a soul, I'm so powerful, or not, that's not what I mean, not powerful, so bright, everybody is so bright, that kind of me being bright, kind of going out of my whole own body. So, you know, it doesn't contain me. This is not just me, this thing here. So I can come out and I can reach everything, because my job is absolute and always to expand, that everything is expanding all the time, growing, changing. So that's my job, basically. And sometimes I really feel it, you know, when, not that I'm expanding, but I feel this feeling of joy, that this earth living, it's very important, and I love Earth, and I think everybody who is here, even if you think that they are like a real assholes, they are here to guard Earth. You know, we are here to guard this Earth, because this is beautiful. I really feel it's beautiful, like it's like a jeweler. I want to make some pictures, images about like paintings about about Earth. Anyway. So what I wanted to say, yeah, so basically I've been practicing this. And then there is this, so I would put this book, it's good to kind of, if you already been doing some work on yourself and your ego is in check, I would say this is a good book to look, because you're not gonna be focusing on how can I be better than others, but how can I kind of develop myself, because everything what's in this book, it's pretty much, you know, doable for everyone, just like sport and yoga. When I mentioned that yogi who kind of could give back life to other creatures, you know, the point is that he didn't just like here. What's the meaning of it? What's, you know, is it, you can practice this, you can practice all that, but what is the point? Maybe this is not what you're supposed to do. Maybe this is not your gift. Maybe it's all pointless for you, you know. So maybe that's why I given up on it. I don't know. I find it quite vain, but I like to, I don't know. Anyway, I leave it like that because I just go on and on rambling about. The next book is, this is Matrix Energetic by Richard Bartlett. This is also about transformation. So all these books are all about transformation. And yeah, it basically, it says that he was, so whatever he learned, as he was like holistic doctor, and that's like the top of the iceberg. And then, you know, then whatever, like he came up with some technique, and then people's life, so he came up with some techniques, and people's life were changed by that technique, or with that technique. And yeah, so I read this book and I was thinking, it didn't give me anything really. Maybe where am I at? There are always like marks in it, so I know. Oh yeah, by the exercises I am. It says, yeah, it kind of explains it, how you can do it. So basically it's like almost like one kind of healing modality. So you can just practice, you can practice Reiki, you can practice light language, or whatever you want to call it. The way I do it, it's basically, I just connect to basically the skies, or I would say I connect to the sun. Actually, I always connect to the sun, if I'm really honest. And then I connect to the person, and I connect the sun wherever is the problem with the person, you know, that body part or whatever. Then I connect the person down to earth always. I ground that person. And then I see sometimes, like, you know, I see if sometimes you really have to dig yourself to make this person grounded or something. So this is it, like I'm using like a trinity always. So there is the person with its imbalance, and then there is the sky, and there is the earth, and that's it basically what I'm doing. So yeah, I would say I would give it a miss. That's my opinion only. And then what do we have here? We have here, so when I was, we still have some books, so bear with me. I have some books from Brian Tracy. So when I was working for a company, I wanted to better myself, in a sense that I wanted to be more productive, more helpful for the company. And if you are like me, who is I would say I'm an overachiever in a sense, or I used to be, who, you know, you always put the bar so high that for sure you're gonna fail. So you kind of, you know, you make yourself fail all the time because you are pushing yourself almost too hard into such heights that you cannot reach. Now I kind of give up on this. So if you are listening to my videos now, I'm really mellow and chill out, but I still like to do lots of stuff, but I put down this pressure. So basically when I followed this and everything, it's really good books. These are really good books, but I think it kind of made me go towards my breakdown. So it speeded up my breakdown, which probably I'm quite grateful now. So the first one is Eat That Frog. Why I like Brian Tracy? I used to listen to him also when I was going to work. I think he talks sense basically, really. So if you are in a how do you call it, corporate environment, you know. Also, it's very American mindset, bear in mind. You should listen to him and learn how to be better, and how to treat your company like it's, the company like it would be your company, and probably they're gonna, promote you, you get a raise, and so on, so on. So basically, it teaches you very well how to do this perfect working dog for others. Although you can implement this and do it for your own company too. Now, I'm not quite sure it's working here in England, or it definitely doesn't work in Hungary, because if you will start to suggest changes, let's say you are like you are not even a manager, let's say you are not, like just a worker or something, and employee, and you would come up with some ideas how to change the company, they would think like, what do you like? seriously, like, who do you think you are, you know, stuff like this. But you know, it does make sense. It does talk sense, in a sense, like it says, apply the 80-20 rule to everything. It means that whatever the 20% you're doing, gonna kind of mark the 80%, the outcome of the 80%. So I didn't put this right. So the 20% of what you are doing gonna make 80. So make, what's the good word for that? So basically the 80% you're gonna achieve, that's gonna, oh, I don't know how to say this, I have to find this, sorry, that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? So no, I'm gonna try it anyway. So the 20% of whatever you are doing gonna make 80% of your success, basically. So you know, so that's why you have to eat that frog. It means that you have to really do the important things first, which means that, you know, you are not start every day, you have tasks to do, and you are starting with the most difficult task, not the easiest one, because that's gonna have the biggest impact on your life or your whatever work at that given day. So yeah, and then it's like, it says like upgrade your key skills. I think it's really important also. Leverage your special talents. Motivate yourself into action. Develop a sense of urgency. So you see, it's perfect for someone who is really working in a corporate environment and needs to survive. But bear in mind, you might end up like me, that you're gonna really get burned out, and I wasn't even working in a corporate environment as such, or at all, basically. So yeah, if you are an overachiever, I don't recommend it, but in order to kind of, you know, you might feel that you need it, you know, you can learn from this, if nothing else, that what to avoid. So I would put it into this pile. Then the other one is the 21 Success Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires by Brian Tracy. It's like this book. So no, I'm still not a millionaire. I don't want to be a millionaire as such. But again, these books are really good to kind of, for those people who actually can never actually do any work, you know, to kind of get up and do something. So I would say this is even better than the Eat the Frog book, because it says like, dream big dreams, first thing, you know. Probably if you are not really, if you don't dare to dream because you're being brought up not to dream, that's already your first hurdle. Develop a clear sense of direction. What do you want to do, you know? See yourself as self-employed. I think it's really important. It means that, you know, you are working for yourself. So in this sense, you treat the company as it would be your company, but you can learn so much. And it's true that it says that learn everything. Dedicate yourself to lifelong learning. I think I find it beneficial. Learn every detail of your business, so you know everything about it, how to do stuff. It's not like, okay, I just do this part and then I haven't got an idea how long does it take for them to, let's say, develop the product, or I don't know, or send these parcels, or do the marketing, blah blah blah. Be absolutely honest with yourself and others, it says. I would say, if nothing else, be absolutely honest with yourself. Determine your highest priorities and concentrate on them single-mindedly. That is important too. And then it says something about unlock your inborn creativity. So yeah, I think, yeah, you know, you can learn from this book also. And then after I had all these things, I went to another way. Then I was like, what is the point? Because money is a really tricky topic. And I went in another way. That's, I'm gonna talk a bit later. There are other books of this topic. Basically, Randy Gage. I have two books from Randy Gage. One is The 7 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Randy Gage. I used to listen to Randy Gage too. I find I found him really good. He was like really punchy, like he made like this 2-3 minutes videos about, one would always like stay with me. It's like a sentence. It's just, he started the video like this: leave the drama to your mama. And I was thinking, oh, it's really great. So basically he was homeless, or was about to be homeless, and he practiced giving. First he said that he didn't dare not to give after a while when he saw that it's working, and then obviously now he gives from the heart. I don't know, I haven't been following him for quite some time now, so I don't know what he's up to. Then the other book that is a really thought-provoking book. It could be for some people. It, for me, didn't really say anything new. It says risk is the new safe. It basically means that whatever we thought of being safe for, you know, for quite some time, that you have your job, you are set for life, you know, you go and you get your pension and stuff, and now that is the risky thing. So basically it just turns it other way around. It says risk is the new safe, lays out some changes which are taking place in business, technology, and the economy. You'll learn which jobs and business models will disappear forever, and so, you know. So yeah, I think, you know, now it's not so up to date, because, you know, now we kind of living it. So it's almost like too late to, if I may say, too late to worry about this. But when I read it, we were in a brink. But we've been on a brink for quite some time, you know. So anyway, these things, if nothing else, they always can make you think a different way a bit, to see something differently. So I would recommend those books. Randy Gage, yeah. And the 7 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. It says something, create a vacuum for good. So basically, you know, if you make space, then, you know, you can receive. If you are full, if something is full, you cannot push anything else in there. So you have to have space to receive something. So that's really interesting. Anyway, the rest, yeah, whatever, you know, the rest is the rest. So, but I let me just see. Does God really exist? Prosperity consciousness. So what is prosperity? Like, you know, most people always think about like money. I always think about like basically just to be able to what I want, wherever I want, and whenever I want, and always be able to do it comfortably. So I think about money or something, and the same like with giving, that you have to give. If you give, you receive. But I don't give to receive. I give from the heart, and that's like this is the hard part to kind of practice, I would say, to let that feeling go, that, oh, and what if, you know. And but like, it's like, just look at the river, you know. If you block the river up, the flow, then the water gets stagnant. It's just gonna sit there. Probably it's gonna stagnant. Water is a dead water. So you have to make everything flow. Everything is flowing. So, you know, this thing should be flowing too. I'm thinking I might talk about this a bit later. I don't know. The money is a tricky question, because everybody thinks about it differently, or prosperity, I would say. I don't even think about money as prosperity anymore. For me, prosperity is really the freedom of doing comfortably what I want to do and when I want to do. And I don't really care about how much money I have on my account or whatever, as long as I can do whatever I want freely. So for me, that's prosperity. So, you know, everybody has different prosperity. And then, so, you know, when I had my breakdown and I came to all this, like, you know, re-evaluating my life. Oh, before that, sorry, I have this, the 7 Rules of Life by Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra, yeah. The 7 Rules of Life. That is also quite good book. That kind of goes away actually from, you know, from Brian Tracy. So, you know, they are all talking about prosperity, but in different ways. So, like, what I see now is like, to do something with the least effort. and stuff like this. You know, this is something that people find it difficult to understand because, well, not all of them, but some people find it difficult to understand. It comes with practice and kind of to think about things and see it, how does it work in your life. I must admit that at the beginning it's really hard to let go of that fear. And then I came to an absolute opposite of you know, looking for stuff. Is the moneyless man. Basically, it's the guy who lived without money for a year. So, you know, I really covered everything from Brian Tracy, how to how to be a millionaire or whatever, to moneyless man. So, and I needed to look at all these, not to take ideas from it, just to check it with me, like where am I standing with this. So sometimes you have to read something or you have to see something in order to kind of crystallize for yourself where you are standing with stuff. So yeah, this is where I'm standing. Well, I haven't said where I'm standing, but I know where I'm standing with stuff in regards of prosperity. And then what else is there? The first book I got is from my mom, and that time we didn't even have like something like self-help books. And this is The Road of the Artist, or The Path, I would say, The Path of the Artist. How beautiful is that? And then it kind of helps you to, you know, to be creative and to live with your art and from your art. And also, but it was also about, you know, affirmations, positive and negative affirmation, how others see artists and stuff like this. And you had to do like a contract with yourself somewhere. I know it because I just did a video in Hungarian. Here you. It's like I have like a contract. So I had to sign a contract with myself in 2008, saying that I'm gonna really finish this and everything. And it's like so great, that book, and I'm so grateful for that book. So yeah, it's basically okay. So by me saying it's great, you won't know what is about it. It's basically it's written by Julia Cameron, and it says that creativity is a basic way of kind of us humans expressing ourselves, and it shows us why some people can be creative and what makes them not, you know, not develop their creativity and stuff like this. I think it's really great. And then I have some other books, two other books. One is this book by Mark Bajerski. It's The Diary of an Accidental Physics. It's a really good book. It's also like a story, like you know, The Alchimist and stuff. So basically, it's his story, how he became whatever he is now, you know, and how he was, basically he says that he was, you know, I'm not saying nothing special, but in a sense that, you know, he was just, like it says here, an ordinary man living an extraordinary life, you know. So that's his way of becoming whatever he is now. And then I have another book from him, that book I like better actually, is The Hold That Thought. So these are basically just like a little, how would you call these things? Like, there are cards like this, you know, that you can pull out a card for a day with like some advice or something. So what I used to do, I used to just spin it, like even now, and then I would open. And then, you know, I used it a lot in 2018, you see? I even wrote there at the bottom, like, when did I open in this page? And then I would read it, you know, so cool. So yeah, I really like this. These are the most significant books in my life I can remember of, and I wanted to show them to you. And please, you know, I'm gonna type in the title and the author of each and all of them, and then, you know, it's up to you. Basically what I said, we all learn in different ways, but it's always kind of good to gather information from as many sources as you can and cross-check it. And, you know, and basically so far this has been my journey, I would say. And not to mention all the audio and everything, or videos I watched and listened to, but these are the things you can actually touch. You can see my development, and you can see how I change from, you know, wanting to be, I don't know, enlightened, being not just being okay to be happy, you know. As you can see, because as I showed you in my notebook, like those were like the last kind of notes here. And I stopped kind of writing them, I would say 2018, I think probably 2018. I never even written anything else. And so, and I put down something like this, that I'm safe everywhere I'm going, or everywhere I am. And that would be my video for, well, that would be my video. So thank you very much for watching this video. Sorry, I'm keep kicking my my camera. Thank you for watching this video. And the next video I would like to, we're gonna do some ointments and stuff, so I'm gonna gather some spring herbs I know of, and I'm gonna show you what we can do with them. Okay, so thank you very much again, and have a lovely day. Thank you. Goodbye.